Hey, how you doing? I got one coming from the painter. We've got to put this thing together. I got another one sitting here ready to go. We're doing two at a time. We're doing more than two at a time. We're always doing more than we can pray over around here. Hey, I want to talk about two things today. I want to talk about custom originals versus restored modifieds, also known as Resto-mods. Welcome to Mini Bike Minute. I could sit all day in the middle of this room and just remember different things about my childhood, and there's something about these bikes that do that to all of us. Today we're going to talk about the custom original Z50, and we're going to compare that on the other side to the restored modified, also known as the Resto-mod. So I want to talk about this bike here for a minute. Some of you guys that have followed me a little bit have seen my short, and if you haven't, you got to go look up that short. It's called For My Wife. I'm going to do this thing up for my wife. So I think I'm just going to finish what somebody else started, and she's going to have a nice Christmas present. So as they say in the country, we got her done, and it's a beauty. So I've got to show you this custom. This is the original motor for this bike, and we powder coated the covers on it and custom painted the word Honda on the side cover so that we could match the paint on the bike. The badging probably could have been ordered, customized, or could be painted. That would be one other thing. If I were to do one more thing to this bike, that's something I might do. But this is a gorgeous custom Z50. Happens to have a lot of original parts on it, very original, and 6-volt battery, all of the right stuff, correct number on the motor. So we've got an original bike that I managed to ruin. And we've got it in Barbie pink. So if this is something you like, something you love, it's easy for me to do. But as I said before in my video, in that short, it's for my wife. So let's look at this restored modified. We've got a 1974 Z50 chassis. My buddy Brad in Missouri has a really clever way of lengthening the swing arm right here on this bike. We use an aftermarket cover, obviously, because we've got a 125cc Lifon 4-speed racing series motor. So we've got a 4-speed manual clutch here and 4-speed right down there, and it is the 125cc, which is going to give you a really cool ride. And this bike's got 3 miles on it. It's brand new. Built it for a guy over in New York, and he's had it over here for a while because he built it as an investment piece. And it's for sale. So if you're interested in this is actually candy purple, and this is a Mopar color from the 60s, and many people call it plum crazy, and so you might remember that term. Just a beautiful, beautiful bike that we've customized from the top down, selected everything, including the gold on the brake and the different colors that we've got on the shock system. So this is a Resto-mod, and this is a custom, and that's a very different thing, because you want on your custom originals, you want just paint. Maybe you're going to do some different decorative ornamental stuff on the bike, but you're going to keep everything from the chassis to the engine and to the major components. You're going to keep all that original, and as we did, just go with Barbie pink and cream on the bottom. So we're building this bike actually right now in a CT70, so it'd be kind of cool. Hey, thanks, and now it's time for one more thing. I'm standing here with an all original that we have restored with all original parts, And this belongs to a good buddy of mine that's bought several bikes from me down in Texas. His name is Wayne. He bought this bike because this is the one his wife had when she was a child. The reason I wanted you to see this original bike, this one that's been completely restored, that does not have aftermarket parts on it. We waited for these parts, some of these parts, for a year because they're not readily available. And so we just had to keep searching. I want to talk about the restored modified, the custom original, and the restored. And I want to tell you this. I shared with you guys last time a little testimony about my own life. If you're doing a restored modified on your life, or you're just adding a little paintwork to your life, deciding you're going to go to church, deciding you're going to do a couple different things, I don't think that's a step in the wrong direction, but I do think this. If you really want change, it's going to be a total restoration. It's not a customized, it's not a restored and modified, it's none of those. It's a full-on restoration. It's all original, made new by the Lord Himself. You know, I didn't have anything to do with the first time I was born, and I didn't have nothing to do with the second time I was born either. God knew when those were going to happen. It took trouble in my life to lead to that moment when I chose Jesus as my Savior. Don't wait for trouble. Watch this video. Hopefully God stirs your heart, and all you got to do is believe, and He said that He'll save you. Thanks for watching Mini Bike Minute. It's an honor, it's a pleasure, it's always fun to be with you and these bikes.